My name is Victor Wooten. I'm now from Nashville, Tennessee. I've been here for a long time, and I'm a musician by trade. There are a lot of life lessons that I've learned from musical journeys, but the one that pops into my head right now was when I was touring Asia with Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. And here's the cool thing. We were hired by the military, by the US military. We were given very high military ranking, and we were sent to 7 Asian countries as musical dignitaries, I guess, musical ambassadors. And so we went to Mongolia and Thailand, Singapore, the Philippines, Korea, China, and we went all to these places to play concerts. And we played some concerts for the public, but we did other ones for ambassadors and high-level dignitaries. We were playing way out for a hill tribe. I can't remember if it was Thailand or something, or some place like that. But we were told that this tribe had never had a live concert before. So we didn't know what to expect. And if anybody knows the band Bela Fleck and the Flecktones, we're pretty weird. First, Bela plays banjo, right? I mean, that's not even a real instrument. And no, I'm kidding about it. Don't let Bela hear that. But he just makes this banjo sound the way you've never heard it before. My brother Roy, Future Man, is playing drums on a weird electronic thing from Star Trek, right? And then I'm a crazy bass player that was doing backflips we're just crazy. And at that time we were a trio, but we were bringing our music to this crazy place. To this beautiful place, bringing our crazy music, hitting them over the head with something they've never seen before. Bela was smart though. In every Asian country, in every city we went to, he had reached out ahead and had them send us their copies of their national songs. Like what for us it would be, America the Beautiful or the national anthem or whatever. So every city we went to, we learned songs that we knew everybody knew. So we're playing for this tribe and they're polite and they're just listening to our music, right? In the band, we're playing for them. But when we went into their song, all of them, there were 2,000 of them, jumped up, singing, dancing. And at that moment, it hit me. There is no longer a band playing for an audience. There is no longer Americans playing for Asians or Philippines or wherever we were. There was no longer a language barrier. There was no religious barrier. There was no humanistic barrier, belief barrier. There was just us as one, experiencing each other inside of the music. And it was beautiful. And it hit me profoundly and strongly that this is what music is about. It's not about how good I play my instrument, how my technique is, am I playing the right third in the dominant chord or the right set? Nah, can I bring people together with this music? At that moment, I looked at music differently or more broadly as to what the purpose of it is. I want to get so good, not so that you look at me, but so that we look at we. We become we. Music has that ability, and that's what I'm striving for every time I play. And that's what Wooten Woods is about.
First met Victor. What is her story there?
Oh, there's a story. The first time I met Victor Wooten, I was an instructor at the tracker school, Tom Brown Jr.'s tracker school. I think it was 1990. And in walked this guy. He just kind of stood out. And he came in and we had this great conversation. He wanted to know if I could help him set up his tent. And that was our very first connection. We talked about how, you know, he said, I play the bass, I said, I play the saxophone. So we kind of had a connection there. But the rest of the week, as we were teaching him things like the bow drill fire and how to track animals, it was fascinating to watch him see all these wilderness skills, but through the eyes of a musician. And it was during that week that he put this whole thing together really in his mind about how music and nature are connected.
So, if I bump into people a lot and they ask, you know, why would I want to do one of Vic's camps? What is Wooten Woods? And I find a lot of people in my culture, cooks, are musicians also. There's a lot of art intertwined in there. Why would somebody want to fly across the world, as some do, leave their family and go out into the middle of the woods and take that risk? Well, if you're a musician, you're going to have an amazing musical education. You're going to learn theory, you're going to learn stage presence, you're going to learn how to communicate through notes, you're going to learn how to connect with your audience, how to draw your audience in, and on and on and on, things that I don't understand because I'm a cook. But ultimately, you're going to learn about yourself, and it's going to change you. It's going to change how you perceive and approach not only your music, but your relationships, your family, your work, and your appreciation for riding around on this big blue marble.
Well, the interesting thing about Wooten Woods is, of course, it began in another location. When we first started the camp in 2000, the camp was held at a state park, at Montgomery Bell State Park here in Tennessee. And it's about 10 years later, or 9 years later, that we moved here, that Holly and Vic acquired this land, and we were able to start on the facility that we have now. The interesting thing, I think, is that Wooten Woods is not just this location, because the spirit of this place comes with the people. And whether it's the family, you know, the Wooten organization, and we are truly a family. That sounds cliche, but we are truly a family. And it just seems that wherever the Wooten Woods thing is, whether it's here or at Montgomery Bell, or we even took it on the road a few years ago and did a tour, the community is still there.
So here's how the song goes. It goes like this. Boom, 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 yeah, yeah. Boom, 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 yeah, yeah. That's it. Boom, 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 yeah, yeah. Boom, 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 yeah, yeah. Well, I'm grateful, yeah, yeah. I said I feel so grateful, yeah, yeah. And I'm wondering now, yeah, yeah. If y'all feel grateful.
Basis of it, bass, I like that, because that's my instrument. Wooten Woods uses music to bring people together, because that's what music does. Music brings people from all walks of life, whether, different races, different religions, political status. When music plays, people forget about all that stuff. We're just one happy family. Wooten Woods is a place where music brings people together to feel that, but then we want to go further. To quote my mom would say, what does the world need with just another good musician? What the world needs are more good people. So Wooten Woods is about bringing people together and reminding them that they're good people.
Meeting people from all over the world and seeing the transformation in people. Of course, when everybody gets here, people are nervous. They're going to be playing on stage in front of Victor Wooten. We do all these exercises that break that down, so that by the end of the week, it's not, that's Victor Wooten. It's, oh yeah, there's Vic. It's that kind of thing. I think that's my favorite thing about it, is to watch the transformation and watch how the community builds, just in a few hours, how the community builds. That's fun to watch.
There's all these things that just fall into place. But I would have to say that it's really the people that are here. I go home and I think about the community that has formed here within a week. I think about the community that has been formed from the very first camp to now. And there really is this powerful, beautiful collection of people. It's that community.
Oh, what is my favorite thing about Wooten Woods? I'd have to say my favorite thing is experiencing this diverse mix of humans that come together, all wearing their doubt and their egos and how they interact with each other, and then watching that slowly break down over time and watching them leave as just a connected family unit. It's just a beautiful thing, and it just expands. I can go to almost any state, any city in the US, and I've got a Wooten Wood friend there. Somebody that experienced the same things that I've experienced over years of living there. And it's just, it's a beautiful thing. Complete different backgrounds, completely different perspectives. We maybe vote differently, believe differently, but we have this brotherhood, sisterhood of connectivity through music, through the Wooten family, through nature, through the awareness that Wooten Woods kind of brought to all of us in our own perspective, in our own ways.
People come and I can tell they get it. They get it. And a lot of times they thank me, but really it's me thanking them for getting it and for becoming who they should be. People become what the world needs, I think, when they get here.
I'm kidding. Last camp, I'm up at the doghouse. And moon room. The moon room, not the doghouse. I'm at the moon room teaching the class, and we're in it, man. I'm just having my fun. All of a sudden, I hear, and in my class comes a whole conga line. The other 3/4 of the camp danced all their way, because they had started, like they were just waiting for me. So Abby, where you at, Abby? Abby was DJing at the mix board and had all this music, and they were dancing, and then someone was like, well, where's Victor? And they're like, he's still teaching. They said, well, let's go get him. They did a conga line all the way up to the moon room, through my class, literally through my class, so we conga lined back with them, and it took that to end our class. It wasn't my fault, though. I was done. Holly knows. I'm usually ending on time.
Who's doing the dip? Are you doing the dip? Are you the man? I got a dip. I think I'll break my back.
nature intervened with this amazing storm, and it elicited and emitted some isospheric chemicals that were enlaced with the funk enzyme. And what happened was it dripped upon those people. The funk enzyme dripped, and you see what happened, ladies and gentlemen.
I have some pretty strong feelings about music as a language. And one of the main things that I teach here is the connection between the musical language and any spoken language. And how when you're fluent in a language, you think in that language with no translation. That's how I teach reading music. I also consider, in very much the same way, nature to be a language. Nature's talking to us all the time. There's things happening all around us that we don't have the capacity to understand from the beginning. But we can learn it. We can learn it. You can learn what the birds are saying. And they are saying something. They're talking. And I very often think, I saw a squirrel sitting out in my front yard the other day. He was sitting on a stump, and he was just sitting, just looking around. And I'm thinking, what is he thinking? And people say, well, squirrels don't think. Of course they do. Of course they do. And that kind of stuff is fascinating to me. And so the way that affects you inside, or the way it affects me inside, I feel when I'm playing music. Now, whether this is fully answering the question, I don't know. But to me, it's just all encompassing. And of course, we do an exercise on the first night of the camp. Vic does an exercise with lists of names: describe nature, describe music. And they're always the same words. They're always the same words. So music has all the same elements that we find around in nature all the time. And so I really think that they're connected just as we all are.
So that connection, we can look at it several ways, and I like to describe the connection through the idea of skill set. When you go out into nature, if you want to see animals, if you want to feel this connection with all of creation out there, you want to connect on a deeper level and get quiet, you need to listen. You need to quiet, not just outside, but inside, and truly dive in deep to a peaceful, quiet place. Well, music, it's the same skill set. You need to listen. You need to listen to what the music is trying to say. You need to listen to your bandmates and what's going on around you. You need to listen to the audience. You need to feel with all that, and it's not just with your ears, it's with your entire body. Same thing, it's really an awareness thing. Same thing in nature. Getting quiet, feeling, listening, sensing that there's an animal over here, just like you'd sense that the drummer is signaling that the end of the song is coming. So there's a skill set there about being quiet, about listening, having an awareness around you. Both nature and music, there's this beautiful intersect. And if you can spend a little time and learn either of those, they transfer beautifully. But what I really see today is people that are so disconnected from nature, and so many distractions in our world. Everything's going 100 miles an hour. The earth has a different pace. And so what I would love for all people is to get some quiet time in nature, to slow down and to feel what's around them and absorb that. I think it'll just make everybody more peaceful and quiet inside, maybe a little deeper listening internally as well. I know every moment I get to spend in nature is it just makes me better and a little more chilled out.
Nature and music intersect in every way because nature is the most natural thing on the planet, and nature intersects with everything. Music shows you a way of audibly expressing nature. But here's the point, is when somebody's really good at something, let's say you have a 5-year-old kid and you hand them a tennis racket for the first time, so you serve the ball and they just smack it over the net and backhand, you go, whoa, you're a natural. So what does that really mean, you're a natural? What it means is you're like nature, right? Nature just does. I don't know that a beaver has to practice chewing down trees and building dams. Beavers, you know, do they need that practice? Does a squirrel have to learn how to build a nest? Is a bird singing to win a Grammy, right? Nature, the trees, the animals, flowers, they're just following their natural who they are. And when we find someone in life that's doing that, we call them a natural. But in music, they tell us to sit in a practice room and lock ourselves in the woodshed and practice these same things over and over. That's not the best way to become natural. We didn't learn to speak our native tongue by sitting in a room saying things over and over, right? Saying the alphabet over and over doesn't make you a good communicator. So we need to add more naturalness to our practice, whatever it is that we do, whether it's cooking, whether it's swimming, whether it's playing music. We need to get out of the practice room to see if what we're practicing really works. So music and nature go hand in hand, but anything in nature goes hand in hand because you're trying to do it as freely as nature does it.
Beautifully, and maybe, you know, just Victor's presence as well, and that he's so passionate about both these things and this connection. But it seems like most everybody is very open-minded. They do come here from music, and oftentimes they're looking at approaching, you know, they want to learn everything they can about music, and the nature's kind of a side thing. But we start right off the first morning with a nature exercise that we do, this blindfold drum stalk. And I think after that is finished, they start seeing that, oh, this stuff is pretty powerful the way it goes together.
Well, a life-changing lesson from my musical journey. Well, it's been a long journey. It's been a great journey, and I hope it's not over. I've been so fortunate since I was real small. I grew up in a musical household. My dad was a great jazz trumpet player. There was always music on in our house. Anything from Dave Brubeck to Mantovani, Percy Faith, you know, all those, Miles. And so I think the last 20 years, especially since we started the Wooten Woods thing, since Victor started and I've been part of it, the not the transformation, but the growth in not only my musical life, but in my personal life has really, really been remarkable.
I think my favorite thing about Wooten Woods is the people that come, because they make the camp. If I was here by myself, it'd be boring. But the people come and make this place what it is. The place is literally, Wooten Woods has been literally built by wonderful people.
See, you never know who you're going to meet at one of Victor's music camps. It's just amazing. I mean, just this last camp season, we had Taylor Swift's drummer had a day off, spent it in here with us. We've had Bootsy Collins, it's the instructors. We had Richard Cleveland, who comes in and teaches us nature. Sifu, Brian Edwards, who trains our special forces how to take people out. We've got great herbologist and master gardener, Shannon Pable, and Ron Burnett. We've got Prince's bass player, Rhonda Smith comes in. We've had Sinbad. I think one time off the bus, we had a Native American tribe come in and did a formal teepee ceremony. We had a sound healer come in. This last camp, somebody flew across the globe from Japan to play a song and then left, I think it was ukulele. All the people I get to experience, and there's a lot of them. I have faves and I've learned from all of them. But I gotta say, the coolest person I've ever met is Chuck Rainey.
Chuck Rainey's a hero. You know, for a lot of people, he's a bass player, maybe. You know, we can define him in many ways. He's a husband, a father, friend, an uncle, granddad, great-granddad. But he's a hero to me because I'm known for playing the electric bass. Chuck Rainey was one of the first people to ever play the electric bass. He's actually older than the electric bass. Electric bass has only been around 70 something years. Chuck Rainey's in his 80s. So he is the pioneer. I like to describe it this way. If I flew planes and I got a chance to live in the era to meet the Wright brothers, the first people to fly a plane, that would be so exciting. Well, for me as a bass player, I'm living in that era. This is one of the guys that has pioneered the way we all play the bass guitar. Whether you know about Chuck or not, you're playing the way you play because of him. Now, he's not the only one. There are others too. I can mention many names: Carol Kay, Bob Babbitt, James Jamerson. There's so many, but Chuck is right there. And he's my friend. And even better than all that, he's the coolest guy. I mean, he's honest, he tells the truth, he loves you, he hugs you. He's just a wonderful guy. And when I see that in someone, I love them even more. But Chuck, being the highest level bass player, he played on all the stuff I grew up. I used to watch the Fred Sanford show, Sanford and Son. That's him on bass. The Jeffersons, Dancing Machine with the Jackson 5, the Steely Dan Asia album, Peg. What a wonderful world with Louis Armstrong. All this stuff, The Closer I Get to You. Oh man, too much stuff. That's him on bass. And he's still alive and a cool guy. And he comes to Wooten Woods every year, and I can sit next to him, give him a hug, eat a meal with him. Wow, that's Chuck Rainey who he is to me. He's much more than a bass player. I would say he's a human being at the highest level.
Thank you. How was that, Chuck? How did he do on that, Chuck? How did he do? He did great? All right. Hey, check this out. For all our guests out there, for all the parents and all the guests, that was a song called Peg from a band named Steely Dan. Woo! And hey, everybody out here, who was the original bass player on that song? This man right here. What's his name? What's his name? Chuck Rainey. Chuck Rainey. What's his name? What's his name? Chuck Rainey. This is the man right here. Yeah.
Just being around people, players, that's it.
The love. I feel the love from everyone. I feel the love from everybody here. Favorite thing today?
All of the like-minded individuals.
The food is beyond, I can't even have words for it. And just spending time with these musicians and the teachers, it's just a totally different thing, man. It's on another level.
Can you tell me what your favorite thing about camp is?
Man, it's energy. It's energy. I was talking about how the cadence of this place during mealtime. Day one, it was like, but now it's a different energy, it's a different sound. People have come together, there's no strangers, everybody knows each other, and you can tell just by the feel of the energy now. This is the most awesome experience that you can ever have. And I really am appreciative of it. Thank you very much.
What is your favorite thing about camp?
Do I have to say the food? Because I mean, it is up there.
Yeah.
The food's phenomenal.
John Shop's cooking.
Favorite, the food. No question. The food. No, it is. It is.
The enchiladas.
And believe it or not, the food is incredible.
John Shop. John Shop. John Shop. Hey, beautiful. How you doing? Every day.
John's in the house. Oh.
My name is John Shop. I've been the camp chef at Wooten Woods for 23 years. I'm also a baking and pastry arts instructor at Virginia Western Community College and the president of Center Stage Catering. When we shop for Wooten Woods, you know, we're basically buying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 worth of groceries. There's no roadmap. I just buy things that I feel like. And then we drive down to Nashville and go to see Sylvia, our dear friend at the Green Door Gourmet. Beautiful organic farm, and she just lets us run through the store and through her walk-ins, and we just pick up beautiful things that speak to us. It's like, oh, I need 2 flats of those yellow tomatoes. Oh, I want some of the stripy tomatoes. I need some green tomatoes. Oh, you got peaches? You've got unripe peaches? I want the unripe peaches. And we just load up a van full of stuff. And then the stuff tells us what we're gonna cook day after day. There is no planning what we're doing for breakfast until we step into the kitchens at 5 a.m. and start cooking. We put the music on pretty loud and we just start letting it flow. We don't know what we're doing for lunch. Same thing. I'm gonna use this up, let's use this. It's this weather outside, boom, and dinner. And it just kind of flows, and it's a game. And the game is, we have no food left over when we're packing out to go to camp, and every meal has been delicious and new and exploratory. The ultimate mission at camp, for me, is to have fun. Have fun connecting people, reaching out to people, energizing people with food. Really getting the feel of the group of people that are there collectively, what country certain ones of them might be from, what special restrictive diets some of them might have, the time of the year, the weather, and how I'm feeling. And wrapping that all up into a story that, surprisingly enough, is gotten by most of the people at camp without having to kind of spell it out.
As you can imagine, the turmeric seared lobster tails are not vegan, all right? Now,
Wait. What did you just say?
lobster tails. Turmeric seared lobster.
Real lobster tail.
Real lobster.
That's not a misspelling.
Nope.
I can't. Wait a minute. Yeah, that takes some applause right there.
That's right. Let's get it.
Lobster tail. Where's the lobster tail? I'm gonna wash dishes. I'm gonna get my front of that line.
So, from being here for 23 years, I have just tremendous stories that have shaped my life and changed who I am. But I have to go back to one of the first teachings that I learned, my first experience in Montgomery Bell cooking for the Wootens. And I came in with my ego. I wanted to show everybody something. I wanted them to know who I was. Obviously, I had some love in my heart and that sort of thing, but it was really early on about me. And I got to meet Victor's mother, Dorothy Wooten, has ever tremendously impacted who I am as a person. The woman is a sage. And by the second or third day, she came back in the kitchen, and I didn't even know her as Vic's mom, I just assumed. And she was, baby, I love you. Thanks so much for doing this. It's a blessing, and you're taking care of everybody. And I'm just like, well, this is a dream for me, so no need to thank me. And we had been using oatmeal, right, for breakfast, and served the oatmeal the first day, and second day, we don't like to waste, so we turned that oatmeal into oatmeal bread and pushed it into the next day. I still had some oatmeal left over, and when Mama Wooten was back here telling me thank you for being here, just off the cuff, she was like, baby, don't you throw that oatmeal away. Oh, no, ma'am, I won't throw that oatmeal away. And she went on her way and left Montgomery Bell Park to go to the hotel to stay. And the second she walked out that door and was off-site, I looked around, took the oatmeal, put it in the trash can. Took the trash can, took it to the dumpsters on the far side of camp and buried it and forgot about it. Went on with lunch, went on with dinner. The next morning, 5 a.m., I'm in the kitchen cooking. In comes Mama Wooten. Baby, God bless you. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. You threw that oatmeal away, didn't you? I said, yes, ma'am, I did. She said, I thought I told you not to. You did, and I'm sorry. And from that point on, I realized there's no need to lie to anybody. You may be uncomfortable to say what's the truth, but ultimately, people can sense that, or the right people can sense that, the aware people can sense that. Mama Wooten could definitely sense that.
If I had one wish, that one's kind of hard. It's twofold, because my mom, who would be considered religious, in these days, my mom would be called more spiritual. Even though she had her religion. And she always said, at the risk of offending someone, I'll just say what she said. She said God didn't make any mistakes. And if God didn't make any mistakes, that means I don't need to wish anything. It's already done. I just need to be. I need to express and be who I am and hope I'm following those wishes that the Creator has for me. But again, if God created everything, I don't know how I can't follow those wishes. How can I do something that God didn't give me the permission or the ability to do? But if you're asking me what I want, I would just like people to get along. I'm going through Nashville and I'm seeing these skyscrapers. I was in Boston. I'm in Boston every month teaching at Berklee College of Music. And my good friend Steve Bailey runs the bass department. So I'm in his office a lot. Right out the window, they're building this huge skyscraper on both sides of the highway. The highway's running right through it. But they're building this over the last year and a half, 2 years, while people are walking right by. Interstate's still moving on. We're going to class. No problems. That's a lot of people working together. And I'm sure people voted for different people, prayed to different people, different monetary statuses, but they agree to work together for this cause. If we can do these amazing things, put people on the moon and all this stuff, why can't we just do something as simple as get along? So if I had one wish, I would say, let's just get along with each other.
Are you ready to dive a little deeper into music? To dive a little deeper into yourself? To dive a little deeper into nature? If you're ready for that, and you're craving and realizing that there's a lot more to things, come on out to Wooten Woods. See you there.
Hi, I'm Dave Welch. Do you want an exciting opportunity for your life? Do you want to have a musical experience that is beyond anything you could imagine? Do you want to have some of the best food you've ever had in a camp? You've got to come to Vic's Camps. Go to vicscamps.com and register today.
Hey everyone, I'm Victor Wooten and I am here at Wooten Woods and we are running Vic's Camps. We are inviting you to come join us. Bring your instrument or not. Just come and say hi and explore what we do here. You can find us at vicscamps.com, VIXCAMPS. This is a wonderful place and I guarantee you, we don't have Wi-Fi, but you'll find a better connection. We want you to fall back in love with yourselves and I'm happy to help you do it. And believe it or not, the food is incredible.